welcome to CEC lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani. I am from Department of Computer Science, Alibat College, University of Delhi. So in our previous lectures of this series of programming in Java, we have seen the first program, and we have also seen various characteristics of Java, why it is kind of advisable to have the file name same as that of the class containing the main, and all those kinds of situations we have seen. Now in today's lecture we are going to see how to set up the environment, and we will also be understanding the basic data types. Now when we talk about setting the environment actually involves kind of installation of your Java development kit, which is JDK, whichever the latest wherever the latest version is. And even after we can say installation, this is not the installation and then kind of running that exe, downloading that particular setup first and then installing that exe onto the machine is one thing. But apart from that, a path is required to be set for using various tools. What tools I am talking about here is Java C is one of the Java compiler, which is the tool. Then for execution we use Java, and the all these are the kind of tools, and in order to use these tools, a path is required to be set. Now when this path is required to be set, if we are saving our Java source file inside our bin directory, and bin directory is available, or that bin folder is available in the Java development kit JDK folder, then the path is not going to be not required to be set, because all the tools are automatically available in that particular current directory, which is going to be bin. However, if we are we can say storing the Java files outside this JDK bin folder, bin folder. So bin folder is one folder, and it is stored in the JDK folder. So JDK/bin. So if Java files are kept outside the JDK/bin folder, it is very necessary to set the path of JDK, or it is mandatory to set the path so that it can use different tools like Java C and Java. Now there can be two ways to set the path. One is the temporary way, another one is the permanent way. The temporary way says that it is going to be work only for one particular file, and if you want many of the files to be executed, which is obviously a requirement, we need to go with the permanent procedure of setting the path. So first of all, let's see how the temporary path is going to be set. So temporary path is going to work for one particular instance, we can say. So as I have already told you that these files will be created on the text editor. In order to run the files, we need to run them from the command prompt, and here also in order to set the file, let's open the command prompt first, and we need to copy the path of JDK/bin directory. That means bin directory which is stored in the JDK folder. That path of that bin directory is to be copied and is to be written in the command prompt. Now how are we going to write that into the command prompt? That is by using the command set path is equals to whatever your copied path is. For example, you have copied the path of your JDK bin directory as C drive, then within the program files it is having Java, then within the Java it is having JDK 7.0, and within this JDK 7.0 it is having bin. So for example, let's say this is the path, so we are going to write set path equals to C drive backslash program files, then slash Java slash JDK 7.0 slash bin. So this is the way. So here if you can see on the screen, earlier if we were kind of compiling the programs from let's say C drive or from any other new directory, it was not taking that means it was not kind of saying that it is not the recognized command. And after we are going to set the path on the command prompt itself, which is done by the we can say example which is done by the command set path equals to, and then the whole path, whatever path is available in your own machine. And then if we are going to say java c, whatever the file name .java is, it is going to execute, and obviously we are going to have the execution, compilation as well as execution also after setting this path. So once this instance is over, this path which we have just set by using set path is equals to this will be kind of we can say vanished, because that's kind of a temporary setting. Now if we want to do this setting as the permanent one, and we want to set permanent path of JDK, I am taking here the example of the platform Windows. The process is going to my computer properties, then advanced tab is there. Their environment variables has to be set, a new tab it has to be opened, and we need to write the path which we have copied, and we need to give the name of the path variable also, and then by pressing different OKs we'll be able to set the permanent path of JDK in Windows. In order to understand this whole process in a step-by-step manner, let us see here. So here we have used this go to my computer by right clicking it, go to the properties. Properties is available at the bottommost layer of your that menu which has appeared by right clicking. So go to my computer properties, and within the properties click on the advanced tab. There is an advanced tab which has to be clicked, and in that advanced tab there is we can say a tab of environment variables, and within those environment variables what are we trying to do is we are going to set one new environment variable. So for that we need to click on the environment variables options, and after that we will be going to the new tab of the user variables, because we are going to create a new user variable, and what all existing variables are there, those will be shown. And if you want to create a new, then you need to press the options accordingly. And after pressing this option of new, we are going to write the path in the variable name, because this is the path we are going to set, or any other variable name. So we have written the variable name as path. Let's stick with the path only. And then there is the value of the variable. In order to have the value of the variable path, we need to have that whole complete address of your bin directory, which is available inside the JDK. Now in order to catch, or in order to copy that path of the bin folder from my files or from any of the file manager tool, we can go to bin directory, and we can copy the path given in the address line as it is shown in the figure. So we are going to copy the path of this bin folder, and after doing the copy of this, after taking the copy of the path of this bin folder, this will be executed in the variable value as it is shown. So the variable name of the variable is path, and the value of the variable is whatever path you have copied. Then we will be pressing OK of the new tab variables. Then we will be pressing OK option of your previous this path variables, and then we will be pressing OK option of the topmost or the previous we can say dialog boxes. So this was actually the step of setting the path variables when we are going to compile, or when we are going to execute, when we want to execute, when we want to compile the files or the source code files of Java from any other directory apart from their default directory, which is the bin. We need to set the path either in an temporary way which is available or which is valid only for that particular instance, or maybe kind of in a we can say permanent way, which we have just seen by going into the environment variables and so on and so forth. So now after this environment setting and all, let us try to learn something more about this programming language Java, and that's one of the most important characteristic which we are going to take up today, and that is Java is a strongly typed language. So strongly typed language is we can say Java actually do cares about the type conversions or type assignment of the variables. So that is what your strongly typed language is, and Java being a strongly typed language is actually a characteristics or actually a feature which is a part of Java's safety and robustness. We have also in our previous lectures when we were going through the characteristics of Java, we have seen that safety and robustness are the two prime characteristics of Java, and one of the reasons of this safety and robustness is that your Java is a strongly typed language. Now let us try to understand what actually this strongly typed language is. So every variable has a type, every expression is also having a type, and all the types here are strictly defined. We cannot change from one type to another without or bypassing the rules of the system or rules of Java. Secondly, all the assignments, variable assignments I am talking about, or it could be an expression assignment, whether explicit or via a parameter passing in method clause, all the assignments are being checked for type compatibility, and if the type compatibility I can say is we can say missing, then that assignment is not going to happen. So before any type of kind of we can say a parameter, either through the parameter passing or through an explicit assignment, if any assignment is being kind of we can say triggered, that assignment has to be checked for the type compatibility, and each and every variable, each and every expression is having its own type which is strictly defined. There are no kind of automatic conversions of the conflicting types which is possible in some of the languages. Some of the languages which are popular for programming, there can be automatic conversions that conflict with the rules or the standard rules I can say. Here in case of Java there is no such no such constraint. It is not going to have any automatic conversion outside the boundary of compatibility of the types. Then Java compiler checks all the expressions and parameters to ensure that these are type compatible with each other. So all the expressions, all the parameters are ensured that these are having the type compatibility, or they should not kind of we can say breach the type compatibility thing. Apart from that, any type mismatch are errors that must be corrected before the compiler will finish compiling the class. Any type mismatch are errors that must be corrected before the compiler will finish compiling the class. So by virtue of all these we can say points which are available here, or which I have just explained, we can say Java is a strongly typed language, and this is a very important characteristics. Why it is an important characteristic is that we are going to use this characteristic while designing our programs. Now when we talk about designing the programs, the first basic elements is what are the types, what are the primitive types which are available in Java, what all variables can take, what all data types can a variable take. That is known as the primitive types. It can have a primitive type or a non-primitive. First we will focus ourselves on the primitive types. So coming to this, Java defines basically 8 primitive types of variables, or we can say of data. What are these 8 primitive types? These are byte, short, int, long, character, float, double and boolean. These are also referred as these simple types, and when we talk about these 8 primitive types, these 8 primitive types can be categorized or can be put into 4 groups. What are those 4 groups? These 4 groups are integers, floating point numbers, characters and boolean. So here, now in order to proceed further, we will be taking these groups one by one, which are integer, floating point number, character and boolean, and we will be looking into briefing of these 4 groups. So let us take integer first. As you are aware, integer means the values which are not real or non non-decimal values I am talking about. So Java defines 4 integer types, which are byte, short, integer and long. So byte, short, integer and long. Out of those 8 primitive types, these 4 primitives fall under the category of integer. Also, one important thing, that Java does not support unsigned positive only integer. All these values, all these byte, short, integer and long, which primitive types I am talking about, all these are signed positive and negative values. Many other languages are there, those who are kind of supporting the signed and unsigned integers, but Java is not going to support unsigned positive only integers. It will support signed positive only integers, if we can say. All these byte, short, integer and long are having their own width, how much space they are going to occupy, and what range of data we can store onto it, which is given on the screen. So starting from the bottommost, byte is actually having the width of 8 bits, which is just 1 byte, and the range what range of data you can store inside is minus 128 to 127. Then talking about short, the data type short, it is having a width of 16 bits, that is 2 bytes, and here we are having minus 32,768, that is 32,768 negative to 32,767. Then integer is of 4 bytes, 32 bits we are having with a huge range of minus 2147483648 to similar positives. And long is, the width of the long is 64 with a huge range. So here, if we want to use any number which is not fractional, we can use any of these primitive types, long, integer, short, byte or short or byte, according to our own requirement. Coming to the next one, which is about floating point numbers. Floating point number, as you all are aware, that these are real numbers used for evaluating the expressions that require fractional numbers, or that requires the precision of the fractional number. So for example, generally we get in touch with the sine and cosine things, square roots are there. In all these types of calculation, the precision is required, and the required precision could be the required floating point type could be of single precision or could be of double precision, depending upon which floating point type it is taking. So there, as far as similar to, on the similar lines of integer, this particular type, which is floating point type, is also having 2 primitive types under it. One is the double, another one is the float, and the ranges and the width in bits. So that is float is 32 bits with having a range of 1.4 to the multiplied by 10 to the power minus 0.45, and starting from this particular to 3.4 into multiplied by 10 to the power plus 038 is the range, and similarly width in bits for double is 64 with the approximate range given here on the screen. That means that can accommodate a quite large number. After floating point, when we talk about, we jump to the next one, which is the characters. Now character here is something which is very different from other languages. Other languages like C and C++, character is 8 bits wide, while here in Java it is, first of all, it is not 8 bits wide, and it is not same, actually it is, it's not about width thing, it is also not same as the characters in the C or C++. In Java, this data type is used to store the, which is used to store the characters is char, but this is different from char used in C or C++. Now, how? When we talk about, the characters in Java, it uses Unicode to represent the characters. Unicode basically defines a fully international character set that can represent all the characters which are found in any of the human languages. Well, when we talk about the character in C or C++, they are just the characters of the English language. Here it is going to represent the whole Unicode. That is the main difference, and for this purpose it requires 16 bits. So Java character is a 16-bit type, and there are no negative characters. Coming to the last one, which is of the Boolean, it can have only two set of possible values, true or false, and this is the type returned by all the relational operators as A is less than B or something of that sort, or any other control statement such as if or for, which is being which is governing the different conditional expressions or the test conditions. So here in this lecture we have understood the different primitive data types, and we have also seen how are we going to set the path variables in two ways, which is temporary and permanent both, and then we have seen the primitive types and its detail. Here is a list of references which is being used for the preparation of lecture. I hope you have enjoyed one. I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, take care. Goodbye.